I found this video on TikTok, and I'm going to play the video for you. Then I'm going to come back and give my commentary.
To work as much as possible to avoid indebting the country. I see it all day long because as much as we are working today on major projects, we must think of future generations. If we have to take on debt, it should be to achieve efficiency and speed in key sectors that can be profitable quickly. But without debt, just for certain projects, I think we should avoid it. And that is the fundamental principle of all the projects that will be presented to us. We will need to think about it to see the type of commitment we should have towards partners. It's not just about engaging in projects for the sake of engaging, but thinking of future generations, not indebting the country politically and focusing on key sectors because we have priorities. Today we are fighting against terrorism, certainly, but we also have the issue of food security. What does food security mean? Agricultural farming, agro-food industry farming. So these are sectors that will interest us a lot, especially the industry, the transformation of our society, which will employ many young people, and which will therefore create enough jobs and allow Burkina to transform its raw materials and export. These sectors will interest us a lot. The energy sector is a crucial sector as it involves developing an industry that necessarily needs energy. Today, in the field of infrastructure, we are involved in several initiatives that are being developed to be able to process and enable the transformation of our various productions. So that's a bit of what I can say, the spirit that must guide us on the future project, which must really focus on sectors that can be profitable, that will employ young people, but avoid debt as much as possible. Countries' inefficiency. So on this note, we will try to go through the different projects, and based on this orientation, I think we will be able to quickly decide what could be retained for the future work and what can be rejected, but in any case, reworked. Fundamental principle is to work as...
Okay. The man that you're just listening to is President Ibrahim Traore, a black man, the president of Burkina Faso in Africa, a black country. Now, he's talking about developing Burkina Faso with minimal to no debt or borrowing. Now, that's very sensible. And I find it interesting that this sensible reasoning is coming from a black president of a black country in Africa, and not from you black American niggas who has been over here for at least 4 centuries with every advantage and opportunity that many Africans never had. But I don't hear any of this kind of talking coming from any of you. You have had every opportunity to build and develop, and you've never done it. Now here is a black man in Africa with a plan. a black man in Africa, the president of a black country, showing everybody how to start off right and develop. I have not heard this talk coming from anybody in Haiti. I have not heard this talk coming from anyone in Jamaica. I have not heard this talk coming from anybody in Barbados. And I have not heard this talk coming from any black American. And I just find it really interesting how someone who actually has a functional brain, someone who is talking like he has a functional brain, is coming out of the African continent, the same continent a lot of you black Americans just despise. Maybe that's why you can't learn anything.